A very good evening. My name is Frank Mazza. If you're joining us for the very first time, In Focus is a program of education and information. This evening I'm going to learn a little bit about chemistry, and my guests are two students from Staten Island Technical High School, and my third guest is an educator, and we're going to start to introduce them now. Irina, please introduce yourself.
My name is Irina Denisenko. I'm a senior at Staten Island Tech and have worked extensively with your other two guests, so we'll find out about that a little later.
Okay, Joe?
Hi, I'm Joseph Brancali. I'm also a senior at Staten Island Tech. I have been in Mrs. Subramaniam's AP Chemistry class and Biotechnology class, and have also worked extensively with Irina on various different research projects.
Aparna, you have a great background. I would like to, my audience to listen to what you've been doing over the years.
Well, my background primarily has been in science. I came to this country to do my graduate work in molecular biology. So that was the beginning of my learning in science, I would say. I did my master's in University of Kentucky, where I worked on the splicing process in yeast. And then I moved on to do some research on HIV, specifically on maternal fetal transmission of the HIV virus in Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine. Then from there, I had the opportunity to work in a couple of industries. I worked in a startup biotech firm in New York City for a couple of years, and from then moved on to Schering Plough Research Institute, where I did some work on RNA, one of the biomolecules, and also sequencing of that biomolecule. And then took a career change, actually. Then I became a teacher. I taught science in middle school for 4 years, enjoyed it very much, then moved on to high school, got the opportunity to teach chemistry in high school. And while teaching chemistry, I wanted to bring in biotechnology at the high school level, because having been in that field and seeing how much it brings together all other aspects of science, which, by the way, is one of my very big focus in teaching, the interconnectedness of science, and which better subject other than chemistry, which is a central science. So it also, I was very, very privileged to start that program in Staten Island Tech, biotechnology and molecular sciences. So I wanted to bring in the basic skills of molecular biology, because we are living in a biotech world, and that's the science of the future.
I would like to add that I understand that most recently you were given an award. Would you please explain that? And if David, you'd bring that up on the screen for us, please.
Yes, I won the Nichols Foundation Outstanding Chemistry Teacher Award for 2008. It was presented to me in January of this year by the New York section of the American Chemical Society. American Chemical Society is a premier society that has been very instrumental in chemical research, its awareness in the community, and every year they award this particular award to a teacher who has been instrumental in bringing, kind of move chemistry teaching to the next level in high school.
And certainly you've done this as evidence that we're going to be hearing soon from our two other guests here. So, listen guys, you've been studying chemistry, and for me, chemistry is like mixing milk and solder to create something else. So do you both have a general interest in the sciences?
Joe?
Yes, I definitely have a general interest in the sciences. I plan to go into veterinary medicine when I'm done with school. So biology, chemistry have always been a big part of my life. When I first came into high school, I joined our research program, Science and Engineering Research Program, also known as SERP. And with that, it just started to drive me into the sciences more than I ever thought I would be. And then I took AP Chemistry and Biotechnology. And like Mrs. Sub said, I started to see the interconnectedness of all these different aspects of science, be it biology, chemistry, exactly how they work together. and I definitely want to continue doing research and all of that. And thanks to Mr. Subramaniam, I'm definitely going to.
So, you know, I'm probably a perfect example of the medical technology that is around. Certainly, you're all aware of the devices that are keeping me going anyway, and that's part of biotechnology, is that so?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's basically marrying biological principles to technology, and to better health, not just health, almost every other aspect of our living, food industry, agricultural industry, clothing industry. One of the things that we talk about in the biotechnology class in the very beginning is how many different areas kind of are brought in together into this field, into biotechnology. It's very difficult to define it in a sentence, but it's basically using biological tools in various aspects. Right now, if you take information technology, in the future we may have DNA as the chips in our computers to store information.
Most recently, the president has loosened the stem cell research, and how does that fit into the scheme of life here?
Well, I'm not going to make very specific comments on it, but my interest in it is more research-oriented, because it shows us how much more we need to know.
Yes.
It is the more you look into a cell is when you realize how little we know, and how much more there is for us to learn. So we never know what kind of medical advances it's going to bring in. Of course, there are also going to be other issues that come with it. There's a financial aspect, there's a political aspect. But I think as we go along, all that will be taken care of, and what will prevail is the benefit that it can give human beings for better health.
Irina, you were one of my guests most recently where you presented one of your science research topics. So regarding chemistry, how do you see this as playing a role in your life?
Well, we'll see, but I hope to study biomedical engineering next year in college. Now, my interests in the sciences have been geared more towards the mathematics and the physics part of applying chemistry and biology to whatever your research may be, but which is unfortunately why I was not able to be in AP chemistry, because I was taking AP calculus at the time, and too many periods would equal very little sleep. But in the future, I look forward to taking higher chemistry courses to understand just very simple processes in the body that you would think are so simple, and yet are explained by these phenomena that we just every day happen millions of times in our bodies. But you know, when you really look at it, it's really just so miraculous how everything works together so well. And recently, Ms. Subramaniam, she doesn't brag about it, but she is notorious for bringing in current events, you know, taking apart the Science Times, taking apart Scientific American, bringing it into class, and then discussing it for a few weeks at a time. And it's fascinating. I mean, biology, chemistry, physics textbooks are being rewritten as we speak,